street, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is wrestling with Savage. Back down, hold the title, this is wrestling with Savage. The epitome of scrapping them toe to toe. We ride or die, my kingdom's with me, legendary up in my road. Terry limbs up on my pole, the ankle lock grip is accurate. Greek God in the flesh, every move is immaculate.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign.
I be the king of the ring, the mightiest force to be reckoned with. The unstoppable, immovable manager, cause an exodus of other voices making money choices and wins. PG era is dead, the savage era begins. Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is wrestling with Savage. Back down, hold the title, this is wrestling with Savage. The real boss of all bosses, pile drivers, hip tosses. We holding multiple titles while you keep stacking up losses. Lost the talent that flosses, y'all can't even present a match. I'm Minotaur in his army, breaking backs upon the mats.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom, march on bones.
That is right. It is time for the weekly update, and it is good to be back live on YouTube on Wrestling with Savage, review the Savage Kingdom, and we're going to get into it tonight. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, last week we didn't have any live shows. I had my documentary come out, Becoming Savage. If you missed it, it's up there. You should go check it out. It's a good story. It has a lot in there, and there'll be more chapters coming because that's what it's about, becoming savage, because it doesn't start, it doesn't end. It's going to keep going until I drop dead, and we got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about. Like I said, if you missed it, it's on there right now. You can watch Becoming Savage. Documentary Chapter 1 is out now. You are watching the WWE Weekly Update, and we're about to get into it right away. Tomorrow night, we have the AEW Weekly Update. A lot to talk about with All In, Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, and then on Thursday, everything professional wrestling from TNA all the way to WWE, AEW, only on the Savage Storm Super Show. Episode 10 coming up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. This Sunday, I will be at the Battlefield. If you are in the area, I suggest you come on down. It's going to be a great show. I expect it to be a sold-out, packed signature event center this Sunday in Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you head on over to Google and just look up Prince Nana Coffee and pick some up. Use coupon code SAVAGE. Save yourself 10% and try some of the coffee. I was trying the hazelnut flavor earlier. Very good. Battle in the Borough coming up October 19th, 2024. Make sure you get your tickets now. You can call that number at the bottom of the screen. Savage will be there. The Savage Kingdom will be there. We will be represented very, very well in the main event against Crowbar, and I'll be revealing his opponent very soon. Might be Spencer Slade. It might be someone else. I got a few prospects on the rise. If you haven't done so at all, go to wrestlingwithsavage.com. Check out the site. You can see all the latest videos there. You can always check out the upcoming events. You can always check out the shop. I got some great merch. It's available right now. You can go pick it up also on the website. If you want to donate and help out the Savage Kingdom, you can do so through PayPal. And this is the only time during the stream that I will promote PayPal or anything like this. On September 28th, you can meet Diamond Dallas Page at the Wrestling Universe, presented to you by the Wrestling Universe and Savage Kingdom Promotions. So pick up your tickets now at thewrestlinguniverse.com. And we have a lot to talk about. WWE is building up to Bash in Berlin. We have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens coming up. I'll give you my picks on the Savage Storm show this Thursday. Randy Orton taking on Gunther. We got the intergender tag team match that everybody's been wanting. Storm's been wanting it. A lot of other people have been wanting it. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Well, this all happened. A lot happened on WWE this week. And we'll start off with SmackDown, where the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax, would kick off the show. Michin ruined her championship celebration with a kendo stick attack. And, of course, Tiffany Stratton was there. Pretty Deadly was also there. They were like in awe of the Queen of the Ring, as you all should be. I told you her time was now. I told you she would be a world champion. It's just the way it is. She is Samoan, and Samoans are running the company right now. So it makes sense to have a female Samoan bloodline. I mean, whether they say it or not, she is literally part of the bloodline. Pretty Deadly bowing down to her. Tiffany Stratton knows her damn place. By the way, I love that pink briefcase by Tiff Tiff. It's gonna be Tiffany time soon enough, but right now it's Queen of the Ring and the Princess of the Ring, and they're gonna ride this story out until WrestleMania. Mark my words. Where I think by then Tiffany Stratton will be your new women's world champion. Michin has other things to say about that, though. Michin is on a mission right now to make Nia Jax have suffering. She wants to ruin her life on TV. She wants to ruin her whole celebration, her whole vibe. So far, she's doing a good job of that. We'll see if Michin can keep it up. She got over a little bit on SmackDown. I heard there was a little, malfunction on the wardrobe over there. Nothing too serious, though. Carmelo Hayes defeated Andrade in another spectacular match. I can watch these guys wrestle all the time. Matter of fact, I can watch Andrade wrestle anytime. Andrade is by far one of the top guys in the business, pound for pound, minute for minute. If you really watch his body of work, and I'm not talking about the promos, I'm not talking about the mic skills, even though I think he's got charisma, I think he's got personality. He sounds fine on the mic to me. He sounds exactly like what he should sound like. But in the ring, Santos is special, but Andrade, it was a great job picking him back up just in time for Charlotte Flair to come back probably by the end of the year. We'll get into that later on tonight. But Andrade looked good. And he's going to continue to look good. As long as they give him time to work on SmackDown, that's what Andrade is going to do. Carmelo Hayes looked great too. They both are looking great. This is a good series. I don't think you can ride it out much longer, though. But at the end of the day, not too many people on the roster are going to get in the ring and give you the kind of match these two can give you any night of the year. So I look forward to seeing how this is going to end. Blair Davenport defeated Naomi. It looks like Blair Davenport's going to start picking up some momentum now, moving into Bash in Berlin. We'll see where she is going to be in the women's divisions picture. But Naomi basically losing all momentum here. They had her looking a little strong when she first came back, but now she's taking her L's to Blair Davenport. So I like it. I think it's the right win. They're letting everybody get over, right? It's time for Blair Davenport to get over. She is a great talent. She's really good in the ring, on the mic, great attitude in the locker room. And from what I've heard, she's a ringleader. She can get in there and call a match on the spot with anybody in the world and do a good job at it. So I like seeing this. I want to see her continue to win. We'll see where she goes. We have the WWE champion right there, the Golden Boy. His story is definitely going to continue here, and it continued on SmackDown with him and Kevin Owens, kind of like, I guess, being best friends until their match. Kevin Owens picking up the win against Grayson Waller. And then, of course, Austin Theory would come in with the attack. Cody Rhodes would come to the rescue of Kevin Owens because, he wants to have a fair one-on-one match. And that should be a great match at Bash at Berlin. It's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. And we still have about 11 days before that matchup. So, Cody Rhodes, are you obviously going to believe that Kevin Owens is not going to try to do anything to you before that match? Has Kevin Owens truly changed? Is this an opportunity for Kevin Owens to go back into super heel mode? Because I like Kevin Owens as a heel much more than I like him as a baby face. I think it fits him better. I think his personality is meant for being a bad guy. He is a bad guy. He should continue to be a bad guy. Kevin Owens is one of the best bad guys this business has ever had if they actually let him go full throttle with it, which I think eventually they will. I don't think the WWE universe is truly ready for a fully unleashed Kevin Steen. You know what I'm saying? If they let him go old school Kevin Steen on this, I just don't see how it's going to get any better than that week to week. I really don't. But you never know. It could. It could happen, and it could happen live next week. Could happen live in Bash in Berlin. I would much prefer seeing Kevin Owens just become a bad guy and straight up decimate Cody Rhodes. I mean, to me, that would be the right thing to do, the right way to go about it. I don't understand why it hasn't happened yet. I guess they're maybe saving it because I feel that's the move. So that's what I call on this whole scenario here. I think that's what we're going to see, and I'm looking forward to it. LA Knight on fire, having a great year. Your new United States champion, gaining a lot of momentum, doing big things. It's going to be nice to see what they're going to do for him at Bash at Berlin. Maybe he won't even be competing at Bash at Berlin, though. Street Profits picking up a win on SmackDown, defeating former tag team champions DIY, and now they are the #1 contender for the tag team titles. But from watching the Bloodline, I just don't see the Bloodline having a problem with the Street Profits. No offense to anybody from the Street Profits. Montez Ford, you're phenomenal. You should be in the singles division, and you should be having banger after banger after banger after banger with guys like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes and give me Dragunov. Give me Montez Ford and Dragunov. That's a match. But unfortunately for you, you are now the #1 contenders against Jacob Fatu. I don't even think he needs a tag team partner. I think I'm just going to start saying Jacob Fatu is the tag team champions of the world. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I don't think they have a shot, but they're your new #1 contenders. We'll see where that goes as time moves on. And then SmackDown ended with a vicious attack from the Bloodline, brutalizing Roman Reigns. But Roman did come out. He did come out, and he did look good. All right, Solo's over there. He's got the war beads. He's got the tribal chief beads. Roman comes out and he wants those beads because, he feels like he's the original tribal chief because he is the original tribal chief. You can't replace Roman Reigns. And right now, Roman Reigns is on another level. And the fact that this guy's got leukemia too and competing at this kind of level still looked that good at WrestleMania, looks this good now. I mean, he looks monstrous. He looks in excellent form, and he took quick work. He made quick work of Solo Sikoa. Came in there, beat the hell out of him, caught the Superman punch, Uranagi, slammed the shit out of him. I mean, it was great. And he got back his tribal chief beads, man. He got him on his neck until this man shows up. And the way Roman Reigns worked for him, the way Roman Reigns sold for him, it's special. It really is something special to behold. It's something that I wish we would see more of. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait until this guy is your world champion. That's probably going to take a little time. I don't know how much time it's going to take. It might take a year. Oh, man, maybe it only takes like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? For me, I pull the trigger on that ASAP. There's no reason not to. Pulling the trigger on that is a good move. I mean, Jacob Fatu is a fucking star. Let's be honest about that. Let's just get that out there right now. Jacob Fatu is a star. They're making him a star. They're making him look great. He's out here abusing Roman Reigns on Friday Night SmackDown. Last time I checked, that is Roman Reigns' show. And he is laying flat in the middle of the ring. Even though there's 3 guys standing there, Jacob is the one that really did that to him. You know what I mean? And they made that clear because Roman made quick work of the Bloodline until Jacob. And not only did he do it, but he did it with a boot on. So, you got to understand the kind of impression that's going to leave on fans. I try to look at this when I watch the product. I definitely watch it in different aspects. I look at it from a fan's perspective, and then sometimes I try to watch it back and look at it from a worker's perspective. And I try to look at it from a wrestler's perspective. I try to look at it from a manager's perspective. I try to look at it from a booker's perspective. I try to look at it from a cameraman's perspective. I mean, I really try to analyze this stuff. And Roman Reigns, the work he did on Friday night, the camera work he did, the facial expressions that he gave, the movement when he was taking moves from Jacob Fatu, his reactions to Jacob Fatu made Jacob Fatu look so much stronger. It made Jacob Fatu look like an absolute legitimate threat to anyone that goes near him moving forward. They've already done that, but when you do it in this kind of intimate setting where it's that one-on-one time, like I'll show the screenshot again. I mean, it happened. This is just Jacob and Roman in the ring by themselves, and he's kicking him in the head with a boot on, bro. I mean, it doesn't get more monstrous than that. That is the biggest statement you can make, because Roman Reigns, believe it or not, respect it or not, he is the most famous active wrestler in the world right now. So for Jacob to do that to him is tremendous for him, tremendous for the new bloodline. And we're going to see where that goes. This story is like 5 years in the making. So I'm sure it's going to end at Survivor Series. And we'll get into Monday Night Raw now, where the action picked up right away. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser unleashed a surprise attack on Randy Orton en route to Bash to Berlin. And I got to say, Randy standing next to Gunther, and I don't have a lot of shots of that because you don't really need a lot of shots for the way it opened. I mean, this was pretty much it. Gunther got the upper hand on Randy Orton. Randy down. But when they're standing face to face, Randy Orton is huge. Randy Orton looks like he could beat the hell out of anybody right now in a shoot fight on that roster. That's how big Randy Orton looks. I think he could even beat up Odyssey Jones. This guy might even be able to beat up Brock Lesnar right now. That's how jacked he is. Sheamus defeated Pete Dunne, and I wasn't a fan of this. And the reason I say that, nothing against Sheamus, I love Sheamus, but for example, tonight on NXT, Pete Dunne had an opportunity to compete for the NXT World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not going to give you the results yet, but he didn't win his match against Sheamus. So how am I supposed to take him serious as a World Heavyweight contender for NXT when he just lost to Sheamus the night before? It doesn't make sense at all. You're bringing Pete Dunne, you're presenting him on Raw with the new lights, maybe even the old lights, the way they used to do him when he came out solo. But they're trying to bring him back as the bruiserweight. This guy should be beating up people like Sheamus. They should be having great matches. Sheamus should be leaving stains on Pete Dunne's body, but Pete Dunne should be winning the match. It shouldn't be the other way around. It just shouldn't. It really shouldn't. And because it is, it kind of bothers me a little bit. Insane match. I love this match. Might have even been match of the night. It was just a great match. Just the ending, to me, was not what it should have been. But I get it. I get it. I get it. Sheamus is a legend. They want to keep him relevant. This is the Sheamus, maybe I wouldn't say the farewell tour, but they want to remind people exactly who Sheamus is and that he's dangerous. And he was the leader of that faction. And now we move on to this, where Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile ended in a no contest because of this. Because of this, we were actually getting a very good match between these two ladies. And excuse me if I go off on a little rant right now, but we were getting a great match on Raw. Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile have come a long way, especially Maxine Dupree. To me, Ivy Nile has been legitimate for a while. Maxine Dupree has just started to come into her own. And you're giving them an opportunity on Monday Night Raw to actually have a great one-on-one match in front of a live crowd on TV, and they're killing it. And then it has to get ruined by this. I don't think these segments need to always be in a match. We were getting a good match. The best experience that a wrestler can get is when they actually have time to wrestle in the ring in front of a live TV, in front of a crowd. And they were getting that. And they were killing the opportunity. I thought Maxine Dupree looked phenomenal the way she was going in. She was killing it. Nonetheless, match gets interrupted. So, of course, the match now is irrelevant because now it's all about this. And yes, the visuals are always cool. They take great pictures. They have great shots. Obviously, everyone is super into their character. It is believable. But how many more times do we have to see this during a match? How do you start this off with them murdering everyone in Gorilla And now they're just doing the same thing every week, and they're not murdering anyone anymore. They're just beating people up with wrestling moves and actually wrestling matches. You need to find a way to mix the two, in my opinion. You can't start off that hot and then never show. I understand you don't want to go back to that full level just yet. Maybe you save those for the special moments down the road. But how did you not give us little glimpses of it? Why aren't you taking more time, taking these guys and thinking of creative video packages like you have been doing for the past 2 years and giving a little bit of a mix of both, not just shoving it in our face in the middle of the ring? You know what it is? I think they just want to pop the live crowds because every week it's a different city. So they're not, maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's right. I don't know. It's not my show. I don't book it. But there's only 15,000, 20,000 people in these arenas. It feels like they're more concerned with popping those 20,000 people than the 2 million people, 3 million, 4 million, whatever it is, watching at home. But maybe that's the right way to do business. I mean, maybe not money-wise, but maybe it's the right thing to do if you're trying to always pop the arena you're in, and then who gives a shit what people at home think? We're trying to make these people here either very happy or very upset tonight. That's usually the plan. I think this night they were very happy watching Monday Night Raw live. Overall, Monday Night Raw was a lot of fun. At the end of the day, next week we're getting a match with Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. Bo Dallas looks great. The faction looks great. If this just leads to them wrestling full time and they get away from these, like, these should be less and less, these kind of segments where the lights go off and they interfere in matches. They need to do deeper things than this. The Wyatt Six should be handled like Hollywood handles big blockbuster franchises that they want to make money off for 30 years. This needs to be handled like Star Wars. This needs to be handled like Harry Potter, like Game of Thrones. This needs to be handled like The Simpsons. They need to take great care with this so it can be around for 20, 30 years and actually have a huge imprint on the business. Can that happen? I don't know. People's attention span in 2024 is not looking too good. So I can't tell you what 2025 even is going to look like, let alone 2035. Drew McIntyre accepted CM Punk's challenge for a strap match at Bash at Berlin. So this match is now on. I want to see it. I can't wait to see these guys beat the hell out of each other with a strap. It's going to be a good match. If you missed the match at SummerSlam, go back and watch it. It was a great match, possibly match of the night. Most certainly the best storytelling of the night. Homage to Undertaker and Bret Hart. Checked all boxes. Seth Rollins did a great job, special guest ref. But now we don't need a special guest ref. This is a strap match. It is at Bash at Berlin. It is Punk. It is McIntyre. And it is brutality and physicality in Germany. So get ready, because I think this match is going to steal the show. Punk has been looking in top form. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't even know exactly how old he is, 46, 47. Look how great he looks. He is in amazing shape, and he's doing it for the fans and himself. I mean, I don't care what these wrestlers tell you. They can come out here and tell you, oh, I'm doing it for the fan. No, they're doing it for themselves. We all have egos. We want to get in there. We want to look good. And CM Punk has done that, and he succeeded. He needs that ego. Drew McIntyre needs this ego. You all need an ego. If you want to succeed in professional wrestling, you have to be confident. You have to be cocky. You have to be ready to work. You have to be ready to go. Great stuff here. All photo credit, by the way, to WWE.com. Odyssey Jones and the New Day defeated the Final Testament. And I guess what a lot of people are saying is that Odyssey Jones is trying to replace Big E. Stop that. Nobody can replace Big E. Odyssey Jones is coming in here just to mix things up with the storyline, because the New Day has gotten so stale without Big E that they need just something to shake things up. If anything, this will be what actually probably finally breaks the New Day up for good, which is probably what they need if Big E is not going to come back full time. Maybe Big E comes back and he's the manager of Odyssey Jones, and then he just makes them beat the shit out of Kofi beat up Xavier Woods, betray them, turn on them. There could be a story there with that. I don't think that's going to happen, but interesting option if they want to go that way. New Day picking up the win. Now, what are they doing with these guys? I don't understand. These guys are just like, losing every other week to pointless matches. What are you going to do? You're not going to throw them in there with the bloodline. You're not going to throw them in there with anybody really right now, I guess. Karrion Kross, who's he going to beat up? Cody Rhodes? LA Knight? Not going to happen, unfortunately. And I think Karrion Kross is going to be always considered one of these guys, wrong time, wrong place. Because right now there's just a lot of people ahead in the line, and I don't see any reason why we should bump him up 10 spots. I maybe you do. Maybe you think I'm wrong. And if you do, please leave a comment. Let me know why you think Karrion Kross should somehow magically skip the line and go straight to Cody Rhodes. What is the reason why we want to push these guys to the moon? Should these guys beat up the bloodline? Should they take tag team titles from them? Should they take the Raw tag team titles? I don't see it happening. It's definitely not happening this week. Well, there you go. New Day, another win. Karrion Kross and friends, another loss. Wow. And we have Big Bronson Reed defeating The Miz in a no disqualification match. And this was actually a very fun match as well. Braun Strowman coming out at the end. But Bronson Reed was just losing his mind on Miz. I mean, this was fun. This was a good, fun match. Miz showing everyone why he is a legend. Miz showing everyone why he's going to be a WWE champion multiple more times. Miz is going to be in WWE another 30, 40 years. He is in incredible spirits, great health, knows how to work. Miz is awesome. He's always been awesome. He will always be awesome. I didn't even know he had a concussion during WrestleMania 27. He finished the match with a concussion. So props to The Miz, bro. You are a beast. Sorry you had to take this loss to Big Bronson Reed, the new beast in WWE. And yeah, that should be a good matchup right there. Who doesn't want to see that matchup? Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, they have potential to break the ring. The Judgment Day then came out, ruthlessly beat down Priest and Rhea Ripley in a sneak attack. And everything was looking good for Priest and Rhea Ripley until, it wasn't. And that happened quickly. Dom over here taking that headbutt from Rhea Ripley. He's probably not feeling too good. Clothesline from Priest, maybe a right hand. I don't recall. But I know that Judgment Day, the new Judgment Day, right? They still have the goal. They have tag team titles. They have the Women's World Champion. Liv Morgan out here looking good, beating the hell out of Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan's growing on me. The Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is finally growing on me. I still don't see it ending well for Liv Morgan. I just feel like Damian Priest came out of that match at SummerSlam looking better than he ever has in his entire career. So I can only see the sky being the limit for him. And Rhea Ripley is the best female wrestler walking planet Earth today. And I don't see her not having that title for much longer. So have fun, Judgment Day. Okay. Have fun now while you can, especially while you got the numbers to your advantage. Because one by one, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are going to pick you all off until they get back what they want, which is revenge. And of course, that Women's World Championship. Judgment Day, for the meantime, the new Judgment Day, looking good. And by the way, Finn Balor says that we're stronger than ever. We have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship on the line. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn defeated Damage Control and Pure Fusion Collective in a triple threat tag team match. Yeah, try saying that 16 times fast, like Michael Cole said on Monday Night Raw. I mean, I got to read it back. I don't even remember what the hell their name is already. The Pure Fusion Collective. What? How long is that going to last? How long is that going to last? I mean, look at this collective group of losers, because that's all they've been doing this year, and I don't agree with it. I thought Shayna Baszler should have been over a long time ago. She should have had her run with Ronda Rousey before she left, before she took her ball and went home. Whatever it was, I don't know. Or balls, maybe. Zoe Starks, another one who I think had that opportunity when she first came, that she had that like mean streak from NXT. They could have maybe pushed her immediately, but they didn't. They pulled back. Sometimes when you get that opportunity, if they don't pull the trigger on it, it may never come again. We might see these poor ladies stuck in the mid cards for the next several years. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just see too much talent everywhere for it to change. I mean, Lola Vice is coming up. Roxanne Perez is going to be coming on up. Cora Jade's going to be coming on up. You got Tiffy Time waiting to explode. Charlotte Flair, the real queen, is coming back. And when she comes back, she could become, in my opinion, the best female active wrestler in the world. That's why I say Rhea Ripley is the best in the world right now, active, because Charlotte Flair is not active. And if she is, be careful. I don't mess with her. She's good. Well, we move on. Randy Orton defeated Ludwig Kaiser and ended Monday Night Raw on top of the world. Looking great. These guys can definitely main event. My only advice to Ludwig Kaiser is you better hit harder, man. Don't hold punches. Don't hold back with anybody. It doesn't matter who they are. Hit this guy, man. Hit this guy and make that match feel and look as real as you can so we can bring all those fans to Netflix, because you guys won't be on USA much longer, right? I think everything's going to Netflix one day. But Randy Orton is the biggest legend in the company right now, maybe active. He might even be more of a legend than John Cena at this point, because John Cena hasn't been wrestling relevant in a long time. It doesn't matter if he comes out at the main event of WrestleMania. Randy Orton is out here putting on bangers like month after month after month, so many years in the business, still looking better than anyone doing it. I mean, here it is. It's 2024. We're watching Monday Night Raw, and the baddest wrestler in the world, Gunther, right? A lot of people say he's the baddest wrestler in the world. He's awesome. He's this, he's that. Randy Orton walking out here, RKO. 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. And don't you forget it. And he's laughing about it. And that's how Monday Night Raw goes off the air, with Randy Orton beating up Gunther, beating up Ludwig Kaiser, and showing everybody in the world why he is the apex predator. And I love it. Who doesn't love it? The only thing that would be better than this is if Randy goes full heel and just starts really going, old school, 20-year-old Randy Orton, where he was throwing people through plate glass windows, throwing people downstairs, putting people in wheelchairs, hurting people, ending careers, trying to end careers at least. All right. A lot happened this week. I mean, tonight was crazy too. We were watching NXT tonight. Absolutely fun show. I loved NXT tonight. I thought it was great from beginning to start. Big shout out to Chase U. I am so happy, so pleasantly pleased that they are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. It happened last week while I was on vacation. Don't think I wasn't watching, because I was, and I was very happy to see them pick up the win. Nathan Frazier and Axiom would come out here, and of course they want a rematch. They want their titles back. They said, listen, last week you guys were the better team, but we don't think you're the better team every night. Long story short, we end up getting a match between Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne, and if Axiom and Nathan Frazier could beat them, they would get #1 contender shots. And of course, Nathan Frazier and Axiom did beat them in what was a very good, strong opening match to kick off the night. Short match, but Axiom and Nathan came in laser focused. They've had rest, obviously, so former tag team champions. They just made quick work of Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne, who rarely tag together all the time anyway, right? We move into Lola Vice taking on former NXT rookie. Right now, she's a veteran, I guess you would call her. Well, maybe she's not a veteran. She's seasoned. Lola Vice is seasoned as well. But Wendy Chu coming back to NXT with the new spice, new flavor, this whole dark gimmick, dark side Wendy Chu. Anyway, Wendy Chu didn't need to do much to get the win here. All right. Thanks to, I believe that was, Kiana Jordan. Yeah, Lola Vice, she got screwed. So Wendy Chu picks up her win there. I don't know what they're going to do with Wendy Chu. Me personally, I don't see Wendy Chu making it to the main roster. Lola Vice, I see making it to the main roster, because she's the one getting worked right now for her to go over big eventually. That's what's going to happen. So I don't know when, but maybe at No Mercy. We have a new faction here, and this name is much better than the name we heard on Monday Night Raw. This is Fatal Influence. All right. I like it. The NXT much better at the, the 2-word name teams, Fatal Fatal Influence, Toxic Attraction, Fatal Influence, JC Jane, and now another faction with Fallon Henley and their best friend over there. I don't even know her name yet. I got to figure it out. She got a good look, but could she wrestle? I don't know. I haven't really seen her work yet. Then we move on to the Eliminator matchup. And a lot went down before this match would even start. This was going to be the Gauntlet Eliminator. 2 women will start. Every 3 minutes, another superstar will enter. Eliminations occur by pinfall or submission. The last remaining will advance to No Mercy and challenge Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. Breaking news, Carmen Petrovic was going to be out because she got attacked before the show even started, and she was going to be replaced by Brinley Reese. Now, when this match started, I really thought that Ren Sinclair had a legitimate shot to win this match. This was actually a very good match. There were a couple of spots. I'm not even going to mention any names, but a couple of the girls in there go back to the gym, go back to the performance center, and make sure you hook. Make sure you make connection before you go flying flat on your back, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Other than that, great match, very exciting finish, and Jada Parker is now your new #1 contender to take on Roxanne Perez. She came in and made quick work of everybody. So Ruka put up a hell of a fight. Thought she was going to get it for a second, but Jada Parker came out on top. She is your new #1 contender. Roxanne Perez did not look happy about it. Ethan Page with Kelly Kincaid having an interview saying that he's the champion. He's not worried about anybody. It doesn't matter who wins the match tonight. Because, yeah, there was a match tonight for a #1 contender. Pete Dunne was talking some shit saying, I got this match tonight. We'll move into the tag team match of the night. Hank and Tank taking on the Good Brothers. And Hank and Tank, I feel bad for the Good Brothers. They brought the Good Brothers back to NXT to put over Hank and Tank. But somehow, some way, Hank and Tank actually looked good tonight. When this match first started, I didn't want them to win at all. I was like, these guys are the worst. Somehow, during the course of the match, I actually saw a good tag team match. And I saw a good tag team. Hank and Tank have been wrestling long enough now where it's finally coming together. The size is there. The emotion is there. The expressions are there. The movement's there. The physicality is there. They're actually looking good. So I believed it tonight. They beat up the Good Brothers. They got to biggest win of their career. Not only did they beat up the Good Brothers, they did the whole sequence on them. They have a whole thing. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at this finish. It was great. I was shocked. I couldn't believe I was watching Hank and Tank beating up the Good Brothers. Like, in what universe do you wake up in the morning and say to yourself, yeah, today I'm going to watch the Good Brothers lose to Hank and Tank? Well, today was that day. And it was a wild day. I couldn't even believe I was watching it. Good Brothers, very upset, obviously. Security had to come out to make sure we stopped the shenanigans. Sean Spears talking to Malik and Enofe over there, basically talking shit to them too. And then not only that, but he slapped both of them. He was punching both of them. So good for Sean Spears on asserting some authority on the mid-card level. I appreciate it. All right. Ava Rain thought it would be a good idea if she told us that she was at a Slipknot concert. She was a big fan since she was a teenager. Somehow this is about professional wrestling, folks. I don't know why, but it is. We got a new Heritage Cup champion, Charlie Dempsey, with the No Quarter Catch crew. And I like the new No Quarter Catch crew. Ren Sinclair adds a very nice touch to them. Oba Femi comes out, and he says he wants a shot at the Heritage Cup. Tony D'Angelo has a problem with that. So he comes out. His family handles the scraps in the ring, and then Tony D'Angelo goes toe-to-toe with Oba Femi. Oba Femi just straight up tried to powerbomb this man, bro. He just straight tried to pick him up and powerbomb his ass. But Tony D'Angelo wasn't having it. He countered that shit into the biggest spine buster that we've maybe ever seen on NXT. Okay? This is going to be a genuine, good match. This is the biggest challenge of Oba Femi's career. And don't be surprised if Tony D'Angelo comes out on top, because right there in that shot, Tony D'Angelo is looking prime and ready for Monday Night Raw, ready for SmackDown. he looks like he's ready for maybe the Royal Rumble. So be on the lookout for Tony D'Angelo, because I can only see him doing big things this year. Unlike, I think, what they're going to start calling the Meta 2 over there, thanks to Lexus King. Ora Mensa, talking to them about how, that's not even Ora Mensa. No, that's the Adonis. Ora Mensa would come out after this. A lot was happening here. So Adonis, I guess, flirting with the girls. And then we got the newcomer who's going to have a match next on NXT. We'll talk about him in a moment. We have Javon Evans having a conversation with Ren Sinclair. And then he would get interrupted by Gallus, who was talking shit to him. A lot going on there in that 1 second. And we move on to Dion Lennox, who's making his debut on NXT. And he would do so against Ashante the Adonis, who would pick up the win. And he had a great match with the kid. This was a fantastic debut. You can't say anything bad about this debut. Lennox looked like a superstar. He looked comfortable in the ring. He looked strong in the ring. Great movement, great shots, good fan interaction, and staying focused on the target, which is what you want to do when you're a wrestler. You want to focus on your target. This was a good match. But Adonis picked up a surprise win. I didn't think Adonis was going to get the win. He looked great off the top rope with that corkscrew, and he did a good job at copying Shawn Michaels' infamous stomp and super kick, and picked up the win with the super kick. And it looked good. Talked a little shit. They cut the camera off on him. We get to the back. Lexus King, he's making sure his throwing is being handled correctly. He would see the new girls and then dub them Meta 2, basically saying that they need to get away from the losers that they're associated with, because one's injured and the other one's just a loser. That he's talking about him or Mensa. It's funny how the loser shows up 2 seconds later. A lot to talk about. We're going to close off the night with NXT. But right now, I want to show you guys some footage. I had a little trip to Florida last week, and I made a little video package special for just you, members of the Savage Kingdom. So enjoy the show. We'll be right back with the end of NXT, some breaking news, and a final message from your favorite podcast host. We're off to see Hulk Hogan.
It's $1. No, it's 25. Está certo de tentar.
Where art thou?
You don't want to miss out on your chance to win 500.
From here.
Oh, Jabroni, when did you get in? Couple nights ago. Strongest Warrior shirt tonight. I wish I'd have done that.
Let's go!
Look at you.
Marty Jannetty says hello.
No way. Is he still alive?
I'm his producer for his
Marty's
podcast.
still alive?
Yes, he is. And sober!
Bring him.
I doubt that.
And sober, I
doubt
promise.
that.
He's sober, baby.
What?
What? Whoa!
Sober!
The greatest of all time, Hulk Hogan!
You don't know, getting old, brother. And one of our good friends, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
He's always at home watching.
What?
He could be drinking 1 beer.
What?
Could be 2 beers.
What?
Could be 3.
What?
Could be 4 beers.
What?
Could be 5 beers. Was perfect. All right, for Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you want your things hang out free, somebody give me a damn hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Ric Flair.
Stage has been too long since I've seen this man do his thing. He's got this in the bag. About Cash for the Clash. Next on deck we have Leo. Leo, you are off the on deck. Boy campaign.
Don't do it all night long. You'll drag your ass home if you drink too much. What? Tip the bartenders, Zack Attack.
Thank you.
That was impressive. I tell you what, if I sing Alicia Keys,
Good stuff. Hogan's Hangout is getting wild over here. Look at all this shit. Hulk Hogan karaoke going down live, bro. Wow.
Everybody.
622021301 with your name, song, title.
All right, on three, I'm going to take this picture. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no sound. Oh my God. Oh no, my mic was working. I had it muted. I'm an idiot. All right, we're back. We were just watching this video about Hogan's Hangout, and I came back and my mic was muted because I guess I'm rusty. I've been off for a week. I apologize about that. But listen, Hogan's Hangout is a great place. If you're ever in Florida, if you're ever in Clearwater, go on down there. Hulk Hogan's there literally 49 out of the 52 weeks of the year. It's a great time, great people, great vibe. You'll have a lot of fun. I promise you that. Make sure you check him out. His shop is right around the corner. You can pick up a lot of merchandise. It's a good time. But right now, I'm going to get back to NXT. A lot to talk about, right? We have No Mercy coming up next Sunday live. Roxanne Perez taking on Jada Parker. And maybe it's a good thing my mic was muted because I was actually I stuttered on this part before. So now we're live, and hopefully I don't do that again. NXT Women's Championship on the line. It's going to be a good test for Roxanne Perez, but I do not think it's going to be one that Jada Parker is going to pass herself. It's going to be a test for her as well. And it's not going to be one that she passes. Just like Thea Hale failed that test, Roxanne Perez will be your champion probably until at least WrestleMania. Now, this is a good match. This is probably going to be match of the night, surprisingly, because Tony D'Angelo, they're booking him like a stud. They're booking him strong, so he's not going to just get beat up by Obafemi. That's not going to happen. What is going to happen is Tony D'Angelo might actually walk out with the championship. However, I don't see that happening. I think they want Obafemi to be a beast, and they're gonna throw the whole family at him, and somehow, some way, Obafemi's gonna find a way to retain this title. Because in my opinion, putting the NXT title on Tony D'Angelo right now doesn't do him any good. The only thing that does Tony D'Angelo some good is if you get his ass on Monday Night Raw. We have the tag team champions on the line. Duke Hudson will be big time in this match. He will get involved. He will help them retain. Chase U ain't losing those titles anytime soon. They're riding the wave. Now we get to the main event of NXT, and I can't believe I'm about to say we have Pete Dunne, Wesley, and what? Do you believe in Joe Hendry? Because the NXT universe certainly does. And this was a fantastic main event with surprises at every corner, but results that I knew would happen. I knew Joe Hendry would win, but I didn't know how he would win. I didn't know Trick Williams would get in there and help him win, but Joe Hendry did it. He did it. He is now #1 contender for the NXT championship, and I don't even see him losing to Ethan Page. I do not see him losing to Ethan Page, but this match was absolute fire. It did a phenomenal job of showcasing Joe Hendry's talents. It showed Pete Dunne being a badass. It showed Wesley being Wesley. We know what Wesley is. Wesley's a creature of unbelievable ability. The guy is a monster. How he's not on Raw or SmackDown yet, I don't know, but he's got his own storyline, which is why Joe Hendry's definitely winning this match. Pete Dunne's been doing nothing but losing. He lost to Sheamus last night. He lost to Joe Hendry tonight. Pete Dunne's going nowhere, unfortunately. Nice flying knee, though, from Pete Dunne. He looked good the whole match. The match was great. He even got the double finger scramble. Wesley with a beautiful super kick, maybe one of the best looking ones in the business right now. High flying splash. He's fire. He's great. This whole match was great. That choke slam was great. Ethan Page getting involved. He was also on commentary. All of it was well done, well put together. I finally thought they actually made Ethan Page a little relevant tonight, but they made Joe Hendry even more relevant with his performance. That choke slam to Wesley. Wesley was having a seizure on the table. Joe Hendry, after that, knew he had to get back in the ring, get the job done. Ethan Page doing everything he could to cost Joe Hendry this match. But it wouldn't work because right there, if you could see in the background, I think I have a shot of it right. No, actually, no, I don't, because that's how fast he was. Trick Williams came out and basically helped. He knocked out Pete Dunne, threw a ref back in there, and then boom, Joe Hendry is your winner and your new number one contender. And now, No Mercy, it's going to be Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. And the night would end with, Wesley and one of the rascals over there, I think it Wentz, going at it. So he has his own storyline going on. At the end of the day, all week long, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, absolute fire. WWE continuing to show why they are the leader in sports entertainment with fantastic shows and good storytelling on every show. Jacob Fatu on Friday. Monday night, you just had Randy looking like a stud. All these guys, I mean, Braun Breaker, they're doing good things on every show. If you're missing it, you can come find out what's going on here, obviously, every week on the WWE Weekly Update on Tuesday nights, where I try to bring you the entire week of WWE in under an hour. And you said a few weeks ago I didn't like the turn on the Rascals, but Wesley has made up for it quickly now, and I agree with that as well. But it made sense. They already did that whole tag team thing. The only way you can go with it is south, so you can get a story out of it. But we've reached that time in the show where we're going to wrap it up with one of my favorite segments. And the breaking news, The Undertaker jokes with Triple H about cutting WWE back to 2 hours with the Netflix deal. And you know what? I'm totally okay with that. I would love Raw to be 2 hours because then we wouldn't get a lot of saturation. We wouldn't get forced matches. We wouldn't get random matches because they have to fill time. We would get fine-tuned matches, and we can have other 2-hour shows. After it goes to Netflix, they can have a 2-hour show every night of the week. Rey Mysterio suggests that the mask versus hair match with Dominic mullet or mustache at stake. Why not both? It should be the mullet and the mustache. He should have to go bald and start wearing a mask. And if he wins, then you just have to take off the mask because you're already bald. It's simple. I like it. That could be a WrestleMania match, so be on the lookout for that. Ronda Rousey doesn't rule out making an in-ring return after her WWE exit. Obviously, people are hitting her up. They're offering her ridiculous amounts of money because she's a star. Whether they love her as a wrestler or whether they love her as a UFC fighter, she's a star, and she will continue to make money in the world of wrestling as long as she wants to. So I no surprise there. That's not breaking news. Good Brothers, uncertain that WWE will include them in any future company crossovers. Why? The Good Brothers have more of a connection with every company in the world than probably any other team on your roster right now. They have a great relationship with New Japan Wrestling. They have a great relationship with TNA. Well, why do you think that, Good Brothers? And who says this? Whose breaking news is this from Ringside News? I need to know. Eric Bischoff claims that he might challenge Vince McMahon to a fight amongst these poor health rumors, which I can assure you are probably all bullshit. I'm sure Vince is in great health, and I think he's in so much great health that I think he would beat the shit out of Eric Bischoff. I saw Eric Bischoff. I met you, Eric. You're a nice guy, but I don't think you know how strong Vince is, and I don't think you want to find out how strong Vince is, even at his old age. He will kick your ass. Kicked it before. I'll kick it again. He didn't really kick your ass, but he kicked your ass in the ratings, right? In the long term, you got fired. He hired you, fired you. You're like a little toy to him, and he'll do the same thing in a real fight. Don't do it, Eric. Bret Hart declares that punching Vince McMahon was his greatest achievement. And wow, Bret Hart coming out swinging on the Attitude Era podcast. I was there for many interviews that DNA has done, but I wasn't there for this one, but I'm glad I got to watch it. If you haven't checked them out yet, check them out on the Attitude Era podcast. You can watch the full interview that DNA did with Bret Hart. And I could see why he would say that. I mean, anybody that got a chance to punch Vince McMahon would probably say that it was the highlight of their life. Paul Heyman says CM Punk is back where he belongs. Obviously, Paul Heyman, you need help. Roman needs help. Maybe Punk is going to help Roman at Survivor Series. Nobody thinking about that. Maybe Survivor Series, because of what they did to Paul Heyman a few weeks ago, the Bloodline, we might see Team Paul Heyman versus the Bloodline. It might be Roman, Cody, CM Punk. You know, the whole WWE might have, maybe even John Cena. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to start bringing in new Bloodline members. We don't know if Roman's going to just have friends, if Jimmy's going to come back or Jay's going to. We don't know. And for now, we have to speculate. And that's what we're doing right now. We're speculating. We're talking about it. Bryan Danielson reveals that a neck surgery will have to happen, and it will be his top priority after his wrestling career is over, which I think is going to be over at Wembley Stadium when Swerve Strickland puts an end to that ass. But it's only going to be over for AEW. He will go home he doesn't have a contract because he's going back to WWE. That's why he hasn't signed one. Don't think Tony hasn't put it in front of him. He's put it in front of him. That's why he's losing this match, because he's not even under contract anymore. He's going back to WWE. He's going to get in the Hall of Fame, might have one final WrestleMania match, maybe not even. He might just go straight in the Hall of Fame and just be an ambassador. It's going to happen. Matt Cardona eyes involvement in WWE and TNA crossover. Yes, this will happen. You will see Matt Cardona on NXT. You will eventually see Matt Cardona come home to Monday Night Raw. And I can't wait for it. I don't know if they're going to put him right away with his wife or if they're going to let him ride solo. We'll have to wait and see. And Charlotte Flair, her expected in-ring return is basically after November, after Survivor Series. The Queen comes back and the women's scene will get elevated back to what it was, which was the best in the business anytime Charlotte Flair was in the ring. Make sure you join me tomorrow night for the AEW Weekly Update. We have a lot to talk about AEW after Dynamite, and you've been watching the WWE Weekly Update. Make sure you go check out Becoming Savage, quite possibly the greatest documentary ever made about wrestling's next super agent, which is me, Savage, from Wrestling with Savage. You have all been watching the best podcast of all time, and you're welcome. And now I bid you adieu. Everybody have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow night.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is Wrestling with Savage. Back down, hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. The epitome of scrapping them toe to toe. We ride or die, my kingdom's with me, legendary up in my row. Terry limbs up on my pole, the ankle lock grip is accurate. Greek God in the flesh, every move is immaculate.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign.
I be the king of the ring, the mightiest force to be reckoned with. The unstoppable, immovable manager, cause an exodus of other voices making money, choices, and wins. PG era is dead, the Savage era begins. Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, wrestling you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a body slam. Choke slam, hit you raw, this is Wrestling with Savage. Back down, hold the title, this is Wrestling with Savage. The real boss of all bosses, pile drivers, hip tosses. We holding multiple titles while you keep stacking up losses. Lost the talent that flosses, y'all can't even present the match. I'm in a tour in his army, breaking backs upon the mats.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom.